Okay, I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. Got a dentist appointment. So I'm gonna be leaving the room early tomorrow. Um, and I promised SM and Phoenix that I would help them out tomorrow. Um, but just due to inconvenience, I'm just make a video, and then they can watch this later. It's the video is gonna be about timing. Okay, I've had a few people ask me in the room, uh, when do you get into a trade? What's the best timing, right? What's the best entry? And I'll go over that today. I've had a few people ask. I think Gigi and a few other people have asked. So, nevertheless, here we go. I'm gonna try and make this quick so that you guys aren't watching this for too long. Alright, so for timing, it's actually in the word itself, time. Okay, this is like one of the key, most important parts about your timing. Alright, okay, so how do we use a clock as timing? Well, here's how I look at it. Okay, every 15 minutes, a new candle on the 15-minute chart, obviously, appears. Right, so here, 15 minutes, right? Very, very obvious. Okay, every single 15 minutes, I have a bias. Right, so my bias at this extreme moment is up on the GU. And over here, it tells me we have 10 more minutes left till the new 15-minute candle appears. Okay, now why is my bias up? By the way, there's three biases, right? There's three biases. You can have an up bias, you can have a down bias, or you can have an up and down bias, or here as well, up and down bias as well. Okay, so here in the on the GU, my bias is clearly up. I'll tell you why. Okay, the last 15-minute arrow, okay, this extreme moment is right here, and it's obviously pointing up. Second of all, you're going to see this orange line in the charts. Okay, this is now the direction of this orange road, and this is what BB came up with, a fantastic member in the room, is when you look at which way it's pointing, and it's very slight, okay, it's actually almost call that straight, but let's just pretend this is up. Alright, now my bias is up because this is pointing up. If this was pointing down, my bias would be up and down, giving us permission to trade up and down. Right, but it looks more to the upside. Okay, here pointing up, last arrow is down, we get permission to trade up and down in this 15-minute candle. Alright, here my bias is up and down. Right, the orange road is pointing down, our last 15-minute is up, and here it's pretty clear, very strong downtrend. And when I see this, I'm only gonna take trades to the downside unless we get a new 50-minute appear here, right? And I'm only taking ups unless we see a 50-minute pointing down here. Okay, so that's how I find my short-term bias. Okay, step 2. By the way, there's only 3 steps. Okay, for this, just to keep it simple, right? Here, you're going to look at the orange road as well. Okay. Here, did the candle close above or below the orange road? Alright. So for instance, this closed below. This one closed below. This one closed below and below. Alright, so they're all below the orange road. When they close below, when the 5-minute chart closes below the orange road, this is telling us that there's a good chance it could go up, especially if your bias is up. Alright, so here, for instance, we can trade this up. Well, so far, we did the third step is momentum, but this is giving us, these two steps are giving us permission to trade up. Okay, so over here, it's below, we can trade up, and we can trade down because of the arrow here. Alright, over here is also pointing up, and you can trade down to the orange road pointing down. Here, obviously, you're going to want to look for green momentum and take it up. By the way, that's the third step, is the momentum bars. Alright, these right here are momentum bars. Now, today, at this extreme moment, the top ones weren't working, but they're very similar to the bottom, so just bear with me and pretend that these are the same color. So pretend there's a 3 here, okay? But just bear with me today. Okay, so this is pointing down, and this is below. Okay, so for this particular strategy, you have to wait for this to come above the orange road, and then you can take it down with red momentum. Right, so the third step is momentum. So we're not going to trade this up unless we get at least one green bar, preferably 2, but 1 will do the job. So okay, so let's have a look here. So we're looking for green, and we're looking for green. Alright, and also green over here. Let's see if we get it. Okay, so the green came. Okay, oopsies. So okay, so the green appeared just before you enter your trade and you're in. Alright, we didn't get any green over here. That's alright, let's wait a little longer. And oh, okay, here we go. We have the green. The green is in. It's below the orange road, and our bias is up and down. Alright, so we enter the trade. Wait, I'm gonna actually just go back a little bit here, or maybe over here. Okay, let me turn off the sound. Alright, so here you already know it's below, the bias is up, so all we have to do is wait for momentum. So you know, maybe in the meantime you can keep looking for, oh, by the way, we would have taken this up too as well a few minutes ago. I'll go over that trade later too. But anyways, in the meantime, maybe you're looking for other trades to take. Okay, so, but you're waiting for momentum. Okay, so you enter, okay? You see it, and you enter, and I can't read what number that is because it's a small screen. But you enter your trade, and you're in. So I'm gonna be in for an up on this trade. Okay, so we're in. Let's see what happens. Do we win? Yeah, that looks a lot more than 3 pips to me. Okay, now here. 1 sec. Despite the fact if it's 3 pips or not, I'm in for a down now. Okay, but you maybe say, why on earth are you in for a down? Okay, I'll tell you why. Here, the 5-minute closed above. So even if this wasn't 3 pips, which I do believe it was because it's pretty volatile, this is during the New York and London UK overlap, so it's going to be pretty volatile. Anyways, we have permission to go up and down. Alright. With that said, this is closed above, momentum is red. You're in for an up. As long as this is 4 pips away from support, which I do believe it is, then you can take this down. Alright, so let's just take that down. I think this one wins. Oh yeah, that's definitely a winner. Okay, so now it's below. Now it's below the orange road. We can go up and down. Wait for green. Green's in. Okay. See what happens. Oh, and again, It's closed above. Okay, you're waiting for red now, because you got to be quick with this. Okay, guys, keep in mind this is why you have to be quick. Right, red is in, and you're in for down. A little tip I would say is okay, again, below the green is in, and boom. Okay, a little tip is look at your long-term bias. Okay, because here's what happens when you get a solid 15-minute up or down. Let's see, like a good example would be here. Perfect example. The UC, if you have a good luck, okay, it's 15-minute is up and it's pointing up. Okay, that gets me only going for ups. Alright, here 1, 2, 3 saying go up with a MIM. Right, this is like the most powerful reversal you can see. I don't think it can get more powerful, maybe more MIMs, but this is like the best it gets from, you know what I mean? Okay, so when you see a setup like this is where I'm gonna take an open take profit. When do I enter? I enter right here. I enter right here. So let's take this. Momentum was not working, but does not matter. We were taking this up. Okay. Let's see how high this went. Okay, so that's, you know, it's pretty high. So this is the power, and then the oil news came out. That's why it dropped a lot, but we were very aware of that. So this is the power, guys, of the, you know, the 3 zeros. So what I mean by that is, because we were talking about here, you know, going up and down, which is fine. Where were we now? We were over here. Okay. So obviously at 1, but to avoid all these little trades that you would have done, look at your trend, right? You have ATM scores with a trend, momentum, and DX. Stick to that, right? So what I mean by this is you can use this as a guide, right? It's below. It's saying go up and down. ATM scores with a trend, DX, momentum, right? So for instance, let's see. Right, so the X is low broken. You have a 1 up, a 2 up, a 3 up, and a 4 up with the trend. Alright? So you really don't want to go against this, because even though they said you can go down, alright, just try to stick with the basics first. So I guess my point being is, when you see something like this, let it be a guide. Right, like the whole up and down, you know, you're taking ups, down, here and there, and it works, don't get me wrong, it works. I use it all the time now, okay, but use it as a guide if you're new. Alright, so anyways, let's keep going. Some entries. Alright, what's a good example? Right, and this thing just goes pretty high last time I remember. Right, so here, waiting for momentum to the upside, right? If it doesn't come, first of all, what's the ATM score? Oh yeah, here, so very strong ATM score, 1 up, 2 up, 2 up with the trend. Let's see. Alright, momentum is in. There's a 3 up now with the trend and DX, and okay, so this orange word is pointing up. This is below. You wait for green momentum. Alright, so do we get the green? We get the green, then you're in. I even like it better when it's got the arrow with it as well. Okay, so here it's above, wait for red, it's saying go down and up. Alright, but long-term bias is up, so you should be looking for more ups. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. So here, okay, here's a perfect example. Here would be a guide that we could go down, right? Because it's above. This is saying go down and up, right? But to avoid these little losses that you would have had against the bias, just stick to the bias and wait for those ups, because every single up that you would have taken, right, obviously would have worked. So I completely forgot a step, I guess. The fourth step would be look at your long-term bias, obviously, count 1 up, 2 up, and then stick to that bias. Here, 1, 2, 3. If you take this down, I mean, like, you're gonna have to be crazy. Okay. But yeah, so count 1, 2. So this is saying the bias is up on the UJ, right? And then you can go over here. The arrow is up. It's going to be below. Wait for momentum, and you're in. Ready? Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So, what's the example? So yeah, so you're still biased up. So you just look for trades with this setup, BB setup. But then just look for good price, wait for momentum, and that's honestly, I think that's one of the best entries that you can get. Right? So here, this is flat. Okay, I can't really tell which way it's pointing. So you have to maybe wait a little more. Nevertheless, you get a 4-1 score, 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, alright, 5 up even 2, with momentum and DX. Okay, so obviously you would take this up either way. I guess the point of all of this is, what I've learned is there's always a time to be trading. Right? So basically, every single minute, okay, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but every single minute, as long as the markets are moving, it's not, like a holiday where it's super slow, but like, once every 4 or 5 months, right? There's always a time to be in a trade. Okay, so either you should always be in a trade, like you can with the setup and strategies that we have with this amazing service, right? Or you can always be taking a trade, right? So I aim to take 1 trade every 15 minutes off of each pair. That's my goal. Okay, averaging. So obviously some 15 minutes, it's too slow when I don't take it. So then I maybe take 2, right? Because it's possible, right? I mean, I was trading with SM and Phoenix today, and we're going through some trades, right? And there were so many trades to take. I mean, I missed like a ton of trades because every 15 minutes you can be taking a trade. So it's like a lot of possibility to be taking, right? So if you just kind of get the entry point, then you're kind of golden from there. So yeah, I wanted to keep this short because nothing's more annoying than a long video. Where can I end this? Here, I think. Anyways, I do hope this has been helpful. If it hasn't been, let me know in the chat row. We'll go through some trades together, and yeah.